Hello everyone and welcome to the third video of our yoga and exercise for well-being in COVID times. My name is Helena. I'm a yoga and Pilates therapist with an expertise in exercise for older adults. In the first two videos of this series, we have gone through the basics of yoga: definition, history, branches and types, elements, benefits. We have practiced a few of the stretches and asanas that are among the most popular in physical yoga. And we have also established the differences and the similarities between yoga and Pilates. In today's video, we're going to dig a bit deeper into the theory and practice of Pilates so that you can get a broader understanding of this method and also hopefully get a bit more curious about it. We already mentioned that Pilates is a physical fitness system developed in the early 20th century by Joseph Pilates. Pilates emigrated to the USA in the early 1920s with his wife Clara, and together they developed and taught a method called Contrology in their body conditioning gym in New York. So this Contrology was a series of controlled and small movements designed to look and feel as a safe workout. And among their students, there were plenty of dancers that used this technique not only for training, but also for rehabilitating from their injuries. So apart from this element of control, Joseph Pilates considered this practice as an approach to movement founded on the integration of 5 more principles, and that was centering, concentration, precision, breath, and flow. Well, actually, these 6 guiding principles, as we know and use them today, were not named or listed like this by Pilates himself, but by his students, who condensed his theories just to make them more accessible for future generations. And the practical application of Pilates has changed since the early 20th century, basically because Pilates is a system broadly based in anatomy and anatomy of movement, and our knowledge in these areas has evolved and changed a lot since the early 20th century. But despite all this knowledge gained and all these advances, it is true that Pilates, even contemporary Pilates, remains largely faithful to these original ideas of Pilates, to this basic structure of Pilates, and to these 6 central pillars of the technique in the way that Joseph Pilates practiced and developed the method himself. So let me walk you through each of these 6 principles that you will find not only in any Pilates session, but also in each of the exercises that make up that session.
Concentration. During Pilates, you should focus on your entire body to ensure smooth and efficient movements, so that the technique and how exercises are performed is in many respects more important than the exercises themselves. Control. Remember how Joseph Pilates called his system Contrology. Every exercise in Pilates must be done with control of your whole body. So not only those parts you're moving, but also those other parts that are apparently resting. Centering. To be able to control your body, you use your core, also called your powerhouse, to produce all movements, and then from there transmit it to the limbs. Your core is the center of your body, a belt of both deep and more external muscles that give stability to your body. It's your abs, front and sides, your lower back, your butt and pelvic floor. Flow. Exercises within Pilates are intended to flow into each other to help build strength and stamina. Precision. Pilates is not about doing many repetitions with a poor technique, but just a few of them with precise and perfect movement. And breathing. In Pilates, you focus on breathing out through your mouth on the intense part of the exercise and breathing in through your nose on the return, coordinating breathing with movement.
As for the types of Pilates, we can basically choose between mat Pilates and reformer Pilates.
Mat Pilates is the most accessible one because you don't really need any equipment other than a mat, and even that can be substituted for any flat and partially soft surface like a carpet floor. There are some props that can be used in a mat session just to add an extra challenge to certain exercises or for some support. You can use blocks, stripes, small balls, or the big Swiss ball, foam rollers, and some others, but simply you and your mat is enough for a full workout. Reformer is this big equipment with the shape of an individual bed several feet from the ground with levers, springs, cushions with the objective of controlling the resistance as you go through the exercises.
Mat and Reformer are both based on the works of Joseph Pilates, who also invented the Reformer machine itself. The main difference between them is that on the mat you use only your own body weight as resistance, whilst on the Reformer you have all these springs, straps, foot bar to pull or push against. But the exercises are going to be basically the same, so both types, both methods are considered full workouts on their own. And as for the health benefits of Pilates, there are plenty of them, but just to name a few, Pilates will help you correct your posture, it will help you improve your balance, your coordination, your stability, your body awareness also in a way that you will reduce your chances of falling. Pilates will help you feel stronger and more energetic, and it will help you increase and improve your physical performance in your daily activities, whether it's your chores around the house or your hobbies. And of course, after just the one session, you will feel more distressed and more relaxed than before. So we already mentioned these two types of Pilates, mat and reformer, and for obvious reasons, in this video and also in the full Pilates workshop that we'll be producing later in the year, I'm going to be focusing on mat Pilates only, so that you will simply need a mat if you happen to have one, or just a flat surface to work on. So in any given Pilates session, there are plenty of transitions in between one bodily position and the next one. So for example, you may start off by lying down on your back for one exercise, and then from there you will need to roll over to one of your sides for the next exercise, and then come to a seated position for the next one, and so on. Usually all these transitions will make sense for your body within the context of the session, and you will have plenty of time to go through them safely and efficiently. But one piece of advice: transitions are important, okay? Don't take them for granted. Take them seriously, and just try and stay aware of your body. Try and find the best way for you at that particular moment to use that little time in between one exercise and the other as an exercise itself, okay, as a small tiny exercise on its own, with its own benefits, okay? So just try and do it in the most efficient and safe way. And even if we don't need props per se in a Pilates session, you can to help you go through these transitions a bit more safely, and even to assist you with some of the exercises. So enough with the talking, let's get some action here, folks. So first thing we're going to do today is to try and observe and correct our bodily position. You're going to keep your feet hip width apart in here, parallel one to each other, with your toes pointing towards the front. So if somehow you're like this, first thing you need to do, try and correct that. Bring your feet in. Exactly, you can have a look from up here. And you can simply keep your knees comfortably straight, okay? So don't lock them back, but don't have them overly relaxed like this, not to begin with at least, okay? Just comfortably straight. Good. Your hip bones are nice and square, so these on the front you can like physically, literally touch them with your hands in here. So these are your hip bones in the front. We're going to use that reference a lot during the session, so just make sure that you get it right, okay? Your hip bones nice and square in here, shoulders relaxed, chest wide open. So your shoulder blades are just moving one towards the other a little in the back of your body. Exactly. And you can just totally relax your arms alongside the body. Relax your fingers, and then relax your face, the muscles of your face. And concentrate on that feeling of elongation, of lengthening through the spine, all the way from the tailbone up to the crown of your head, as if you had a string attached to the top of your head, and someone were like pulling up from that string. And you're growing taller in here already. And take a few deep breaths. We're going to try and breathe in through the nose and breathe out through the mouth. So inhale through your nose, exhale through your mouth, and keep going, just a few of them. Nice. So what I want you to do in here, as you inhale, you're going to expand your chest. And as you exhale, you're going to draw your belly button in and squeeze your tummy muscles consciously. You can use one of your hands for that, okay, just for the body awareness. So breathe in, expand your chest so that your ribs are kind of expanding to the side. And then breathe out, pull your navel point in and squeeze your tummy. And keep working on that breathing pattern. Inhale, expand. Exhale, squeeze your tummy. And feel that tension through the muscles of your belly. It doesn't need to be anything too dramatic, but we'll use that for the session. Nice, and from here, what I want you to do, allow me to go sideways so that you can see me a bit better. Keep the neutral position, like this. You're going to soften through your knees a little, just a tiny bit, like this, just a bit more relaxed. And you're going to wrap your hands around your hips, around the top of your hips, so that you're kind of touching your hip bones in the front with your fingertips. And your thumb is pointing back. So from here, you're going to start tilting your pelvis back and forth. And this is a nice way to just, let's say, find or connect to the range of movement in your pelvis right now. Okay, so we are checking on the maximum range of movement on your way forward and on your way backwards. Exactly, so just tilting back and forth, and try and keep your torso still and relaxed, your spine long, as you go through the movement with your pelvis. Basically, you're giving that mobility, that freedom of movement only to your pelvis, although some parts of your body are obviously following. Nice. So what I want you to do in here, once you get a bit more familiar with these two actions, so the back and forth actions, I want you to find the middle ground, okay? So the middle position for your pelvis, wherever it is for you, for your own body. Okay? So you find your maximum movement to the front and to the back, and then you stop somewhere in the middle. Then you can explore a little and you stop in there. And that'll be the neutral pelvis for you, for your own body. So once you're in your neutral pelvis, you can straighten through your knees again. Readjust, lengthen through your spine again. Take a couple of really deep breaths in here, just to reposition and to settle. Squeezing your tummy as you exhale. Just one more. Inhale and exhale. And from here, if your shoulders are nice and healthy, just allow me to move back a little. You're going to swing your arms back. Otherwise, if you have any issues with your shoulders, keep your arms down. Okay, and you're going to inhale up here. And then as you exhale, release your arms, tuck your chin in and roll all the way down as far as you can comfortably and safely get. It can be further down, totally up to you. Okay, you let go of your head, let go of the weight of your arms, and find that stretch going through the back of your legs. You can totally keep your knees a bit soft. And then roll all the way up, squeezing your tummy to help you do that safely. And we start all over again. And if you need the help of the chair, That is why we brought it, okay? So make a wise use of it. So for example, if you're not feeling that flexible or that mobile, or you just need some assistance, you can simply keep your knees comfortably straight, grab the sides of the chair, for example, like this, and just go your way down as far as you can safely get, and then all the way up here, okay? But the important thing is in here is to try and keep your spine rounded, okay? So we go through each section of the spine. You tuck your chin in, remember that, and you round your spine, you draw your belly button in, so you can see that C shape in my spine, in my back right now. That is what I want. And exactly the same thing on your way up. You tuck your chin in, you squeeze your tummy, and you roll up one vertebra at a time. So the head is the last piece to go up to surface. And you just keep moving. We just need like a couple more of these, with or without the assistance of the chair, so I will leave that to you. Down as you exhale, up as you inhale, and one more down as you exhale, and up as you inhale. Nice, and stay up here. Reconnect to your neutral position as we did in the very beginning. So if you need to go back to that little back and forth action with your pelvis, feel free to do that just a few times until you come back to your neutral in the middle, and then you straighten your knees. Relax, couple of deep breaths. Allow me to move the chair forward. You can stay in there. So remember what we said about the transitions. So we're going to one transition now, okay? So from this standing up position, I want you to come to a kneeling position. And again, if you need the help of the chair, just keep it close by, okay? But I'm going to do it without the chair, but you can totally do with. So what I want you to do, soften through your knees, and using the very same motion, you're going to tuck your chin in and roll all the way down, just hanging your arms, nice and safe. At this point, you can already grab the chair if you need that. And if you're good to go for the kneeling position, you're going to stand on your hands and knees, keeping your hands right underneath your shoulders and keeping your knees right underneath your hips. And as for the head, you should be facing the mat, okay? So don't tuck your chin in like this, but don't lift your head up either. So the idea in here is that you follow a long line in between your spine and this back of your head. Okay. Exactly. Distribute the weight of your body among these all four parts, both your hands and both your knees. Keep your fingers a bit spread in here. Stretch one of your legs back. And when you're ready, you're going to inhale and lift that one leg up. Try not to move anything else. Keep your foot soft. Don't worry too much about that. And exhale and release your leg back to the ground. So inhale up. And slowly, slowly exhale down. Inhale up. Exhale down. Keep your leg long and straight. If you're feeling confused about the breathing, don't worry about that, okay? Just breathe naturally and concentrate on the movement. Just stay safe. Exactly. One more. Up. And down. And bring this one back. And before we do the other side, you're going to give yourself a bit of a nice stretch in the child's pose. So spread your knees to the side. Keep your big toes together and try and sit as close to your heels as possible. Stretch your arms out and use these few seconds to release tensions from your wrists, so you can do a few circles with your hands. Stretch your fingers out, move around just a tiny bit. And when you're ready, come back to your all fours for the other side. And remember, you can use the help of the chair, okay? So you can just sit your forearms on the chair and work from there. Totally up to you. You have the chair in there. Use it if you need it. Extend the other leg back. readjust your position. Remember what we said about the neck, so keep it long, keep facing the mat, and inhale up, exhale down, keeping your leg nice and long. Okay, so try not to bend your knee. And this is a beautiful one to work on your glutes and your lower back muscles. It's the extension action of your hip, one that we really need. Okay, we go through the flexion way more than we do through the extension, so we need to get the body used to this kind of action as well. Okay, one more after this, up and down, nice, and we'll come back to the child's pose and we'll find another transition again, but again back to the child pose, nice and easy. Good. Give yourself some nice stretching here, a few relaxing seconds, couple of deep breaths. And to continue, we're going to lay on one of our sides, okay? So use the help of your upper body, use the help of your arms, and slowly, good, bring your legs to place, and then using the help of your arms, just give yourself some nice time to do this, to go through this transition. Lay on one of your sides. You can use this bottom arm to rest the side of your head, like this. And we're going to start with the legs bent, okay, so that the knees are touching and the feet are together. Just like this. Try and keep your upper body parallel to the mat if you're working on one mat. So once your body is settled in the right position, make sure that your knees are together. So if you are like this, I don't know if you can see that properly, but that basically means that there is a misalignment coming from your hips, okay, so that your hip bones are not in line. So you need to pull from the top hip forward so that your knees get together. Okay? And once your knees are together, keep your feet together, open the top knee up, and then close like a shell, okay? Acting like a clam. Okay, good. Up and down. And same way, you can inhale for one action and exhale for the other one, or you can simply breathe naturally. Totally up to you. And I'm sure that you're noticing some important tension from the hips, some resistance, and that is totally normal, okay? So don't try and fight that. Don't force the opening. Naturally go, listen to your body, observe that tension and work with that. Good, nice and easy. So we're working with the opening of the hips and with the abduction action. Nice. So from here, you're going to keep your bottom leg bent, and we're going to extend the top leg in a way that it is in line with the upper body. Okay, so not farther forward than that, just in line with the upper body. You can control that just by squeezing your tummy a little. Make sure that your lower back is safe. And once we are here, just 3 times up and down, with up, following the line, and down, breathing your way, and up, and down, and just maybe a bit higher for the last one, and up, a bit higher, and down, and relax, and really release, and you can pat around the muscles of the top hip. Good. Give it a bit of a shake. And before we do the other side, we're going to lay on our backs. So I simply need you to roll over to your back with your feet on the ground. Keep your feet in line with your hips. And we need to find our neutral in here. So we're talking about the pelvis, same way as we did from the standing up position. So hands on the hip bones. You can rest your elbows on the floor, and I want you to tilt your hips back and forth. Allow me just to get this hand out of the way for you to see what I'm doing, but you can keep it there, but I will just take it out. so that your field of vision is clear. And this is what I want you to do, okay? Just rock your pelvis back and forth. Okay, so you grab your hip bones and you rock your pelvis back and forth. Exactly. And you just keep your tummy muscles slightly squeezed. And whenever you're ready, find your neutral, exactly as you did from the standing up position. Just find your neutral, find that middle ground. There should be a tiny your lower back, but it shouldn't be too much, okay? So if it's something like this and you feel like too much of a curve in there, you need to readjust. Exactly. And once you're there, arms alongside the body for the next exercise, and you're going to bring one of your knees towards the chest, so pull it in towards your chest, and at the same time the opposite side arm, you're going to swing it all the way up, and ideally rest it on the floor above your head. But again, if that is too much for your shoulder, you can simply keep it up in the vertical line, okay? Totally up to you, and even lower than that. Okay, so the idea in here is to play with one leg and the opposite arm and find the movement. And then we bring both back to their original places, and we do exactly the same with the other side. So knee to the chest, the other one, opposite arm up, just following your safe range of movement. I will leave that to you. And down. So this is the other side. Up with your knee and your arm. And down. And what I would do in here, I would inhale in the center to prepare, and then exhale for the movement, squeezing my tummy. Inhale in the center, prepare. Squeeze your tummy, exhale for the movement. Breathe in the center. Breathe out for the movement. Exactly. This is a very nice one for coordination. And now we are using the flexion of the hip. Okay, so we did this a bit of an extension before, now we're doing the flexion. So go as far as you can safely go. Don't go lower than this, but you can also go faster than this in a more energetic way. We just need a few more, so keep it up, stay focused. Good. One more per side. So let's go for one. And the other one. And come back to center. Nice. Relax everything. Relax through your knees, through your shoulders. Take a couple of very deep breaths. And in your own time, I want you to roll over to the other side, because we need to do the previous exercise on the other. I'm not going to just roll over to this other side because I want to be facing you. So don't mind me, just do your thing, roll over to the other side. And I'm going to do like this so that I'm still facing you, okay? Because I don't want to give you my back. So remember, lying on the side, resting the side of your head on your bottom arm, keeping your spine nice and long, keeping your knees bent. And remember what we said about the alignment from the hips. So if your knees are not together, move your top hip over to the front and get both your knees together and your feet together. And from here, now we're good. Go for our climb. So you open and you close, and just find your way to breathe naturally through this one. And find that resistance that we found before. It's really interesting every time that we do one side and then we do the other side of our body. It's really nice to observe the differences in between them both, because there are usually differences. So maybe one side of your body feels somehow a bit more flexible, a bit more relaxed, and maybe the other side is feeling a bit more stiff. Yeah, so for me, this side is feeling a bit more flexible, I think. but still somehow the movement feels restricted, but that is totally normal, okay? So I'm not fighting that, I'm just working with that, just trying to make things a bit better. Nice, you keep your tummy slightly tight and squeezed, just slightly. And one more. Good. And when you're ready, readjust. And we're going to, let's see, yeah, I think I can do that with the chair in there. You're going to, okay, we're going to extend the top leg. Remember to follow that line together with the upper body. And 3 times, up and down. 1, good, 2, and a bit high for the 3rd one. Higher, higher, higher. And down and relax and pat around the top of your hip, all those tight muscles. Good. Exactly. So we're going to come to a seated position. Again, the importance of the transitions. Use your hands, use your arms, use your legs, your whole body structuring here. Keep your neck soft, okay? No tensions through your leg. You come on your hands and knees. And from here maybe, or you just find your own safe transition. Each body is different, so you need to work with yours. I want you to stretch your legs out, like this. Keep your upper body nice and straight, your shoulders relaxed. So this is the position that the upper body is going to hold at all times during this exercise, okay? So I don't want you to fall back, but I don't want you to push forward either. And I don't want you to crouch like this and to let go, okay? So squeeze your tummy, good. Focus on your bodily posture and keep your torso straight. Grab one of your legs with your hands like this, or if you have a small towel on hand, you can also use that, and keeping your knee straight. So you're going to move your whole leg as a block. You're going to lift your leg up just a tiny bit, but what I mean is I don't want you to do this. I want you to try and lift your whole leg off of the ground as a unique piece, and then you release. Then you do with the other one, up and down. So I want you to try and do this movement as if you weren't really using your hands. So imagine, try and visualize as if you wanted to do this action without your hands. Okay, so something like this, which is really, really hard and difficult. Oh, fuckers. Oh, fuckers. So what I really want you to do in here is to try and visualize as if you were doing this action without your hands, okay? Don't try and do it without your hands because it'll be a bit too much probably for your quads, but just try and visualize that. So that is the general idea, but you're using your hands just to give you a bit of supporting here, a bit of a pushing up action, okay? To help you lift your legs off of the ground one at a time, and you can really breathe in your own way. But if you want to combine your breath with the movement, you can inhale in the center to prepare for the action. Okay, inhale to prepare, and then squeeze your tummy, exhale and move. Good, and keep going, keep going. Shoulders relaxed, you're facing forward, your face is soft and relaxed. You're keeping both your legs as straight and long as you can as you move each of them. And the movement is coming from your hip, not from your knee, from your hip. Exactly, just one more per side. One, and the other one. Nice, soften through your knees, bend your knees, and in your own way again, so you can keep your knees in line with your hips or you can spread them out to the sides a bit more, totally up to you. We're just going to rest a few seconds, so this needs to feel comfortable for you. What I want you to do is just hug yourself and tuck your chin in and let go, rounding through your spine, relaxing through your shoulders. Take a couple of deep breaths in here, so find your own comfy position. and get ready for the last one of this routine, Pilates routine. So we're going to stand up again. Maybe use the help of the chair if you need that. If you don't need the help of the chair, one step at a time. So the next and last one of the session is the swimming exercise. We would normally do this exercise lying down on our bellies in Pilates, but today we're going to do it from the standing up position, which is equally nice and efficient. I'm going to give you two versions of it, one without the chair and one with the chair. So before you do anything, before you get into the real action, allow me to do them myself, to show them to you so that you can get the vision of them, and then you can just choose your version and go with me, okay? So don't worry about that. The first one without the chair, I'm going to find a neutral position. If my shoulders are healthy, I will use my arms in this kind of a swinging motion up and down, but if my shoulders are not really that healthy, I can totally keep the arms down, so I will leave that to you. The idea is that you're going to swing one arm up, one leg back, and you pull them both a little farther back. Then you come back to center and you do the other side, okay? The arm up first, and then the opposite side leg, and as if you were swimming, you pull back with both parts of your body, arm and leg. So back a little, and you try and keep your axis, okay, your central line fixed. Something like this, okay? It'll look something like this. If you need the help of the chair, you can do just one side at a time. So you go with the chair at the side of the body, something like this, and you just focus on one side, this arm, opposite leg, and you do a few repetitions on this side. I'm just showing it to you, remember, you can do it with me later. And then you switch sides and you do the other sides, okay? So let's go for it. I'm just going to do without the chair. But if you're doing with, I will let you know when to switch. Okay, so get into the neutral position, and you can inhale, breathing in the center to prepare. Arm up, and then exhale when you kick back. Inhale in the center, prepare. Arm up, and then exhale. Inhale. Remember, opposite side, arm and leg, and keep working with those repetitions. And if you're doing just the one side with the chair, we'll do the other ones a bit later. Squeezing your glute, the same side glute that the leg that you're moving, and making sure that your lower back is safe. Okay, you will feel somehow a bit of tension through your lower back. That is normal, but it shouldn't be painful. If it's painful, you need to either readjust or just stop. And this again is the extension action from your hip, which is a very nice one for the strengthening of your glute and your lower back muscles. Good. Keep going. So if you're using the chair, you can switch sides now to do a few repetitions with the other sides of your body, arm and leg. Nice, and keep feeling that sensation of lengthening through the spine, okay? So don't get any smaller, don't get any shorter. I want you to grow taller every time. Getting closer and closer to the ceiling with the crown of your head. Just a few more repetitions. We're nearly there. Keep working, facing front, using your whole body, using your balance every time you come back to center, using your stability in there. And if you need to go slower, just go a bit slower. Just a few more. Okay, a couple more. 1 and 2. Nice, and give your whole body a bit of a shake. Well done, well done. Couple of deep breaths. Settle down. Observe. See how you're feeling. Now you can come back to your regular way of breathing. If you're used to breathe in and out through your nose, you can come back to that totally. And observe your mind. Maybe your mind is a bit more clear now. And I'm sure that you're feeling that warm sensation all throughout your body. So that was it as for the Pilates session. I will see you in the next video. In that one, we're going to be getting a beautiful taste of functional exercise and its multiple benefits for your daily life. Okay, so I will see you there. Have a nice one. Take care. Bye.